What's up, babies? So, we're just coming off of a lunar eclipse, and the energies are pretty intense. So, I want to see what is happening for our collective this weekend. I'm using my scope cards. These are my therapeutic association cards, so psychological association cards that are not oracle cards, they are not tarot cards. They work differently. I use them in every reading, and let's get started. Um, If you hear some noise in the background, there's a school behind me, so it's kind of hard to keep it silent. All right, yeah. If you want to rock and roll with me, hang out for a bit, and see what's in store for us, then please do. Okay, let's see. What does our collective need to know? All right, got one jumping out right away. Ooh, all right. Floor supposedly means double, so. Okay. All right, we got this guy. And then these two. Okay. So it feels for me like some of you are entering into a state of surrender, or you're being called to enter a state of surrender. And I feel like this is due to some kind of separation you might have experienced. I feel like there was some sort of walking away I'm getting with this card. See, there's like these two pieces, these two people here, and they're feeling quite distraught. Feels like you had to walk away from something. You had to step away. And you had to step away from something, from someone, and it seems like almost there's a moment of prayer. There's like some kind of form of prayer. It's also interesting to me, we're in Pisces season right now, and Pisces is the oldest sign of the zodiac. It's the last sign of the zodiac wheel, and it's actually said to be the oldest souls, the wisest souls, and also those who are the most connected to spirituality. So maybe you're somebody who has Pisces placements, or you are very connected to Pisces energy in some way or form. Scorpio energy I'm getting. There's something here in the way that this person is going upwards to the sky, right? And in reverence. And then here as well with a hand. I feel like whatever's been happening in your life has been challenging you to the point where you have to surrender and you don't have much choice about it. But you're being called to, I feel like you're being called to trust your intuition and to trust your heart, to trust that whatever led to this separation and whatever led to this distance between you and another person, or you and this could be a work situation as well. This does not have to be a romantic situation. It could be a friendship. I'm getting it could also be some kind of a father figure or an authority figure, or someone that you respected a lot. Yeah, but definitely that there's something about needing to connect with your heart and with what you can see through your heart, okay? There's something really significant there. Let's see what else. Okay, we got a fire on the bottom of the deck. I'm gonna pull that actually. Shuffle. Okay. Let's see what else. More? There might be more. Okay. And okay. All right, it's getting a little hefty, so I'm sorry. Maybe you thought this was going to be a really chipper reading. Turns out it's not. Just roll with it. Okay, so we have this fire card that came out, and then we have this bear. We have a mother with children crying. Then we have the collapse of a home. And then to top it all off, we are jumping from the ledge. All right, people. So, deep breath. Take a deep breath. It's all good. It's fine. It's fine in the sense that there's only ever anything that you can learn from these situations, right? So I feel like somehow whatever was going on for you in the last week, whatever happened over this full moon eclipse was just definitely a time of letting go of things. It was a time where we were closing, and there were actually a lot of sudden endings. So it was a karmic time of release, as the moon was transitioning through Virgo. I feel like whatever you had to release, whatever separation was initiated, with this card, I'm feeling like it had to go up in flames. Like this was very necessary. It was necessary for this to go up in flames in a way that would allow you to transform. And I'm getting with this card, there's almost like some kind of passion. There's some part of you that is gripping. This is what I'm getting. Like there's a passionate part of you, maybe a part that feels very attached to whatever was happening before, but it's a part of you that's very strong-willed. And with bears in Qigong, confirmation verb, bears are, traditionally speaking, very strong-willed creatures. They're very strong-willed animals, and when they sort of dig themselves into something, they hold on quite ferociously, quite tightly, and they can be very dangerous in that way. They can be very hefty in their energy, and it kind of feels like here some part of you is gripping onto whatever situation was just removed from you. It's almost like with this card, like you saw something very clearly. You maybe had been asking for or praying for information on this topic. You maybe were praying for a solution, and the solution was to take distance. And somehow now there are parts of you, even though whatever happened, whatever was there went up in flames, it feels like there are parts of you that are gripping, and there's also this part of you that needs consolation. There's, this mother with the children crying. It could be your inner mother. It could actually be your mother. It feels to me more like it's your inner mother. Like there's this part of you that's just needing support, that maybe feels like she needs to take care of herself, or she needs to, kind of, maybe this part of you that feels like she needs to take care of the children, of her inner children, but she's actually grieving and she's having a hard time and she doesn't want to keep it all together. And there's a lot of times this idea, especially with this, things are not together right now, so they might be crumbling. Okay, this is a foundation. There's someone here that's grieving. Whatever house you built in this moment in time might actually be collapsing, and because it's collapsing, you're being asked to take this leap of faith, to kind of jump off this ledge and to trust that whatever is collapsing is happening for a very good reason. You will not know the reason right now. You are likely to want to understand the reason, to want to figure out or understand the why this had to happen, but it's not likely to happen right now. It feels like right now the process you're in is more about either you or somebody else still gripping and needing to work through that acceptance and that surrender and that detachment, and having to accept that what is broken here, this part that you see broken here, this cannot be fixed. This is already collapsed. It's something about that structure was not right. It was not sustainable in some way or form, else it wouldn't have collapsed, right? So I feel like the invitation here is very much for you to look at your fears and to trust this fall right now that's happening. Because it feels to me like for some of you, this is a leap of faith into something new, but it also feels first like you're in some kind of free fall moment. And it's interesting because we're going to enter the energetic new year in about a week and a half. I don't know when, depending on when you're watching this, but March 20th, 20th, 21st, when we enter Aries season, and the spring equinox in the northern hemisphere, we are also initiating the energetic year, right? Aries is the energetic initiator. So it kind of feels like whatever you're falling into right now, and Pisces, the season energy right now, is a lot about surrendering. Whatever you're falling into, it's almost like the universe is saying, fall. Let yourself fall into it. If this was destroyed, if this collapsed, it was for a reason. Let yourself fall into it. Maybe the reason is that was not meant to be the thing for you. Maybe this structure needs to be remodeled. A new house needs to be built. Distance needs to be had. Some kind of fire needs to burn. Something here needs to be alchemized. Okay. What else? Let's shuffle. Oh. Interesting. Okay. What else is happening here for this collective? Oh. Okay, that's a whole stack. Am I using all of these? Yes, I'm using all of these. Okay, fantastic. In what order? They all came out together. Okay. Like this? Yeah. All right. Okie dokie. So we got. Interesting contrast, isn't it? The two people. Yeah, we have a lot of grief here. We have separation, but there's some kind of coming together as well. Okay, and then we have these all coming out together. This. Boy, am I glad it ends with that butterfly. I'm also realizing that my nail polish is kind of chipped. I'm sorry about that. Need to get redone. It's not relevant here. We're here for cards. Okay. Okay. So, with this card, I feel like this is related to truce. Yeah, like there's some kind of a truce happening here. There's some kind of a conversation that wants to happen. Some kind of serenity that steps in. I'm not sure if this separation or this walking away was actually from a place of this whole entire relationship situation doesn't work, or if it was actually coming from a place of I am extremely frustrated with something that has accumulated and that needs to end, or maybe it was your behavior that needed to end. Ooh, I think it's about to get real loud because we got some school kids coming out the back door, so bear with me. Yeah, it feels like something, it's almost like, I feel like with these two cards, okay, when we look at them together, do we see a pattern here? It feels like whatever fell apart was something old. Like it was some kind of old structure. I'm getting with this house, like, I'm getting the song in my head of House of the Rising Sun. There is a house in New Orleans they call the Rising Sun, and there's been the death of many a poor boy, and God, I know I'm one. But it's kind of like in the House of the Rising Sun, it's like you're walking out of this old kind of grimy place. It's almost like maybe whatever structure, whatever relationship or situation you were in was built around something that was rusty and old and carried maybe a lot of like karmic weight, a lot of ancestral baggage, or just things from other lives. It could also just be things from your own old life, right? Maybe 10, 20 years ago. Like, but it feels like you're walking away from that. And what's interesting though, is that here, there are two people walking into a city that seems to be burning, right? There's some kind of an explosion happening here. And I feel that if before you were being somehow led, it's interesting because we have the fire here as well. I feel like where you were before perhaps being led, or you were lacking a sense of authority and a sense of leadership, it's almost like with this conversation, with this kind of truce that is coming maybe towards the new moon. Let's see. I'm guessing that this is going to be happening during the week, but there's a sense of truce coming. And this walking away from an old model feels like you're stepping into the leadership role here. I feel like in this collective, that our collective is right here, that you're stepping into a place of leadership. And it's almost like you're going back into this fire, right? When we look at it, it's almost like this fire that emerged, right? And that maybe was in the heat of the moment. Maybe it was a battle. Maybe it was some kind of really intense altercation, very Aries fueled, like rage energy. It feels like perhaps there's this thing of, or this intention from you to say, let's go back into that fire, or let's take a look at what we actually set on fire, and the damage that we cause, and maybe let's look at what and how needs to be repaired, right? So it's kind of like, let's look at what's happened here and what structure has collapsed, so that we can investigate if it's actually still helpful for us to have it at all, if we need to completely renew it. Oh my God, okay, I'm getting a conversation from yesterday coming to my head, but it's so accurate, so I'm going to share it. So I had a conversation yesterday that was about updating the terms and the terms and conditions of your contract, right? So relationships are contracts, they're soul contracts. And as we grow and we develop in our relationships, the terms and conditions of the contract can be updated. Excuse me. So the terms and conditions can be upgraded to fit who you are today, to fit who the other person is today, to fit your needs, to fit your priorities, to fit maybe differences in your day-to-day life, differences in your long-term goals, in your visions, right? In your values even, because over the course of time, our values can also change. So I feel like with this card right here, it's almost like you're going into the ruins, or into the past relationship, or into the past dynamic or space, and you're kind of going back into it and saying, okay, these terms and conditions that we created for this contract, like this contract that we created, is it still valid? Do we need to update it? Do we need to, where can we update it? Where can we fix it? Because clearly it's not working. Clearly whatever was sustaining collapsed. Clearly, this fire emerged for a reason, and there's the grief, and then there's also this situation of surrender and jump and walk away from that which is familiar to you. And I say that because we're ending this kind of card pull, or like the longer card pull, we're ending it with this butterfly. And so there's this really clear thing of, okay, something wants to be reviewed, and it's like the terms and conditions want to be upgraded or changed entirely. And maybe that's what this conversation is about. You will know best. As always, this might not resonate with everybody, but I'm taking it that if you're still here at 19 minutes in, actually, that's interesting, 1919. So a beginning requires an ending. Every new beginning requires a ending and a closing of a cycle. If you're still here with me, I'm guessing that this is resonating with you. So if it is, drop a comment. I want to know what your situation is, because maybe I can help you also on a personal level. But again, I feel like here there is some worry. There's some part of you that is perhaps worried. And I feel like for some reason in this reading, not all of you, but I'm getting that like a lot of you might have kids involved in whatever situation is here, just because there are multiple cards here with children showing up. So if you're a parent, there is maybe some worry, some concern about how will we do this for the kids, or what is the best arrangement or agreement. So this could be that you might be going through a divorce, or you might be going through a separation, and you're trying to figure out, do we need to get divorced? Is that necessary? Or can there be a new beginning? And I kind of feel like if you don't have kids, this might just be entirely like your inner children, or this feeling of worry for what's to come. And this worry of, can we salvage whatever needs to be salvaged. What I think is really beautiful here is with this butterfly is there actually is something that's blossoming from this situation. There's something really significant actually. It's almost like your own becoming is occurring through whatever fell apart. It's almost like you needed that fuel in order for your caterpillar to turn into a butterfly and you to be able to have the strength to crack out of the egg. That's kind of what I'm hearing with this. Sorry, the mosquitoes biting me. Downsides of a garden. Okay, I want to see what else. Final card. Yeah, let's pull a final message. It's pretty intense. Let's see, Spirit. What's your final message for this collective? No. Okay. These are the final messages. So I definitely feel like you're being called with both of these cards to anchor inwards. So with this woman, you can see she's sort of looking at her reflection in the mirror here, but it's very clear that she's only seeing a fragment of herself. And also with this card, it's like the solitary energy. Most of this reading is about something that happened with another person. This is what I'm getting from the cards. There's always multiple people here, so this is not a solitary situation. It's not necessarily an internal one. It feels like something that really was a conflict with another person, but here you're being asked as the final advice to go inward, to find a sense of stillness and serenity, to find a sense of peace within yourself, to definitely connect with nature. Find some time to just go into nature, just be in nature. That feels very significant right now. It feels really necessary for you. As I'm saying that, the wind is blowing the butterfly card away. Only the butterfly card away. Interesting. So really, it feels like something needs to blossom within you, like something wants to blossom within you, but you need to also spend some time looking at yourself in the mirror. Mirror work itself could be significant. Just in general, maybe looking at the world that you've created and how your essence and parts of yourself are mirrored in that world, right? It's almost like when we walk through life and we are experiencing the life around us, but we are contributing to it. We are collaborators, right? We're co-creators with everybody else around us, right? And so our energy is undoubtedly always enmeshed. It's like we're sprinkling, it's like a painter that's always sprinkling their paint onto a canvas, right? And so as we walk through this world, that's something that we're going to find, that we need to stop sometimes and observe, wait, what am I painting? What is the paint? What are the colors that I'm putting out there? Do I even see my palette clearly? Do I even know what colors are on here? Do I see myself clearly? Because here there seems to be some kind of like, we started off with this card, and this card is kind of saying like, it's kind of really looking upwards and into the divine for the support and the assistance and the clarity. But so much clarity can be gained by looking at yourself in the mirror and seeing yourself clearly and really seeking out stillness. And in stillness is when the answers come to us, not when we are actively trying to solve a conflict and where our active mind is like debating and negotiating and setting up terms and conditions. All of these things that we said are valid, the terms and conditions especially, right? Like renegotiating a contract is something that will require a certain type of focus and a certain type of clarity in communication. But it feels like you're being called, in order to be able to do that efficiently in the future, it's really necessary. Oh. Did you hear that? An eagle just flew over me. An actual eagle. That's dope. Yeah. You're being called into higher vision. So I can't make it up, guys. I'm sorry. Like, I wish that you could have seen this. This is a big ass eagle just like whoo, flying over here. Yeah, seek out nature, seek out connections with animals, with nature, and with your environment. It feels like somehow whatever happened in this situation that is surely very disconcerting on an internal level, it did not happen for no reason. And I think it's really necessary for you guys right now to take a step back, find some centeredness, some groundedness, and kind of connect with this higher perspective, also with this card. So like, just stepping out of the worry, right? It's like really stepping into this kind of higher energy so that you can see clearly what is the thing that fell away, and what is the new vision of what wants to be born. Okay, as we enter Aries season, that is going to be extremely significant. That's when also the fire horse energy is going to kick off. Yeah, and I think in general it's going to be a moment where, you know, the fire horse energy is already active, but it's almost like with Aries we're going to have kind of like a double fire. Yeah, so we have Aries being a cardinal fire sign. It's sort of going to activate the fire horse energy that we've just entered a couple weeks ago, the 17th of February. So right now is actually the moment to just pause for a moment, step outward, and review whatever has happened there, so that you can step into it with more clarity and renegotiate and walk away from all of the old structures that no longer serve you. Okay, anything else? No, I think we're good. I think that's it, my loves. I hope this resonated with you. If it did, like, comment, share, subscribe. Really important. Subscribe. This is a new channel. I'm growing it, so subscriptions are very, very, very important to kind of keep this content flowing and for the channel to not be eaten by other shark channels. No, I'm just joking. But really, if it resonates with you, do subscribe. It's very helpful for me. Yeah, and if you want a personal reading, write me a message. I have some spots available. I'm setting up my website and my booking system, but in the meantime, you can write me here in the comments and I will get back to you. Yeah, and just let me know how this landed with you. I'm very curious what you guys are going through with this, and I'm just really thankful that you're here, that you're sharing this space with me, that you're indulging in my silly melness. Anyway, I get really silly sometimes. I get weird when I'm channeling. I'm not sure why, but whatever. Maybe I'm always this way. I don't know. Probably am. Anyway, okay. I love you all so much. I'm wishing you a beautiful, beautiful day, evening, whenever you watch this, and see you in the next reading.